Hi, my dear Astro family. Today we are going to be talking about the full moon in Leo that is taking place on the 25th of January on 5 degree of Leo. Before we dive into that, I will be launching a new course that is going to be about house rulerships. We will be looking at every single house ruler in every single house. Now, this is a big piece. It's going to be at least a 50, 60-hour recording. And I really recommend it to those who are struggling to make predictions. For example, if you're using Profection, this could be a great tool for you to understand how the combinations of the houses are coming together. So we are going to be looking at house combinations, how to blend them. And this is huge in natal work as well as in predictions. I tend to see that people are actually struggling interpreting what it means when the seventh house ruler falls into the second house and so forth. Now, this is pretty much one part of my foundational course. So I've done something about the signs, planet in signs, just about the houses. I've done about aspects as well. So this is going to be the next big piece. And then if you want to become a professional astrologer, you know what? These are the ones you need to start working with. So this is going to be an exciting course. Now, this full moon report is going to be a general one. If you would like to get more of a personalized reading, then you can book readings with me. April is open. Unfortunately, until then, I'm fully booked. But secondly, you can sign up on my membership zone on YouTube as well as on my website, where I'm going to be breaking down actually what it means, what this new moon means, or full moon means for each of the signs. So basically, you are getting approximately 10 videos a month for about $5. If you would like to upgrade that, actually, you can get free webinars from me as well on various topics. But anyway, let's get going with this full moon. So the technical part of it, full moon is all about a culmination point. Full moon happens when the sun and the moon are in opposing sign. So this is going to be happening on 5 degree of Leo to 5 degree of Aquarius. This is a very dramatic one overall. So I want to break it down for you. And this time around, there's not many asteroids involved. So that's great. However, we're going to be talking about two asteroids this time around. And one of them is going to be Hera, and the other one is going to be Hygeia, because they are tightly conjuncting Saturn. And that is one of the dispositor actually of this full moon. So what is Leo archetype? In order for us to understand the sign, I always feel like we need to be looking at the previous sign because there is a dynamics going on here. So in the sign of Cancer, we are pretty much inspired emotionally and internally. And Leo, being a fixed sign, first of all, it's about giving a physical form to it. In the sign of Cancer, the soul has entered the body. And now we need to create something new. This is the brightest spot in the sky. I mean, the sun is the brightest spot, right? So it's something that you want to show to others. Cancer is soul memory. The Leo is the creation of that memory on a physical level. So that's why Leo rules anything to do with holidays and theaters and fun, and as well as children. Another big topic to Leo is the ego. Ego, the part of the mind that mediates between the conscious and the unconscious, and is responsible for reality testing and the sense of personal identity. So Leo is about I am who I am. If you are with me, then also you become your own identity. Leo is a fire sign. So just think about kind of like a campfire. People sit around it. We're going to have marshmallows. We're going to have bacons. We're going to fry them. We are sharing stories and all those type of things. And then we're going to be clapping each other. We are having fun. But it's about being around like-minded people. Now, of course, the sun is in conjunction to Pluto. So imagine a situation where you are gathered around the campfire, but unfortunately it becomes intense. Maybe there is going to be a hellfire in a way, and then there is a little bit of a panic. There is a little bit of a drama. There's always drama involved with Leo full moons. And this Leo full moon is actually being squared by Jupiter while it's being opposed by Pluto. So the drama with Jupiter is quite a big one overall. If it's a campfire, it's going to be quite a big one overall. The flames are reaching the sky. So one of the topic which might be coming up with this full moon is the self-expression element. That you want to be who you are, but then there is that intense power struggle on the other side with Pluto and the Sun that you are not getting accepted. You are actually getting rejected by a powerful political figure or a powerful authority figure or an overbearing parent. And then somehow it becomes a drama, a big topic, because Jupiter is going to be somehow magnifying this, making a big thing out of something that started actually slow. Also think about Leo as the actor. So you want to show yourself, but in the shoe of a character. We're playing a role. So we create something that might not be us fully. So often there is an element of misunderstanding. We wanted to say something, and unfortunately it becomes, or it is heard in completely different ways. Leo Aquarius axis is kind of like when you have got a king sitting on their throne, and then someone just pushes them down, and then they fell off the throne, and then they get ridiculed. So this is also a topic here with the Pluto Sun element that I feel that I got ridiculed for who I am or what I do. Of course, we've got also the topic of children that is coming in with Leo. I mean, even we would be able to look at the mythology of Leo as well, and that is connected to Hercules. Hercules was sent to kill a lion, for example, and the lion could not be harmed by weapons. So Hercules had to strangle the lion by his neck. And the lion bit off one of his fingers, and then he skinned it to create some armor for himself. Now, can you see that the fixed element of Leo, the armor, which is about protection, but also this would talk to you about a tremendous amount of strength, bravery, fighting with one of the strongest, and also power. I mean, having Pluto, Jupiter, and the Sun, Moon involved here, this is a really much of a power struggle. And we're going to see that in our lives. Now, of course, we started with the Capricorn lunation beforehand. That was really a positive one, probably one of the best ones we've seen in kind of like 4 or 5 years' time. And that was all about your goals and how to achieve something and how to put your foot forward. And then this Leo is actually testing it, whether you are doing okay. So if you started a new habit, this Leo lunation, full moon, could actually bring an element of test to your strength, as well as it can kind of try to sway you away, because maybe people are going to tell you that, oh, this is not the way how you should do exercise. This is not the way how you should do diet and so forth. And then there is an element maybe with some confusion here. And you might want to be just watching out for that. Also, Leo is about pretty much love and romantic life as well. So if that's the case, this would bring some drama in our love life. Whether drama because you are single and you just cannot stand the thought of it, or drama because you are in a relationship and you feel like the partner is judging you. You guys are not on the same wavelength. The judgment element comes from Jupiter being a square to this lunation. And what is Jupiter? Jupiter is about faith, judging, kind of like the judgment day in a way. And then, of course, it's going to get peaked. It's going to get intensified with Pluto. But some practical matters, imagine that you are sunbathing and then you fall asleep, for example, and you're going to get burned. Imagine that you want to go on a holiday, but then you're going to run into some visa questions, for example, with Jupiter. Also, Leo is about being on a date. So you are going on a date, maybe it just becomes too intense. Somehow you feel like that the guy is just too much exaggerating, for example, with Jupiter. Leo is also about having sex too. So this could be that your sexual energy is going to be so amplified around this full moon. There's an element of craving coming into the picture, always with Pluto and Jupiter as well. But also you might want to go and party a little bit. You might become a lot more creative. One piece of advice I would give with Jupiter being part of this is that we have got a tendency to overdo it. So with Jupiter, there is always a need to somehow get back and balance things out. Now, what happens is that it's okay to go and party. It's okay to go and dance. It's okay to, I don't know, go to the theater, whatever Leo actually represents. But how often do we do that? Is it something that we are craving for every single day? Because then Jupiter is squaring from Taurus, which is telling you that it's time to look after your own finances as well at the same time. And it's kind of like organizing a party with a Leo Aquarius axis. And then I invite so many people, but I'm not looking at the cost of it, such as, I need paper cups. Paper cups are cheap. We need plates. We need food. We need this and that. And then it adds up. So it's sometimes the Jupiter, we are way too optimistic that we can actually manage, or we tend to be over delivering something or over promising, sorry, and then we cannot deliver it. And that brings up an element of kind of like intense situation. Maybe you are unable to attend your duties due to that. And then it just leads to problems. So this is a very interesting full moon. I mean, surely this full moon is also highlighting the way we relate to others. Leo is about individuality. Aquarius is, how is it to be among others? How is it to be a part of a team? So often the question could be here is that, let's say, do I want to work alone or do I want to work together with someone? It's the sign of collaboration. And this could be something that might be out of the question for you, but it's needed. So how am I going to find the balance here? Also, I think with Pluto being part of it, this is telling you to get to know yourself better. It is telling you to get to know the depth of your soul. It is a little bit hiding in a cave for 2 seconds and then going back to that party. When you feel like that kind of you lost your way, Pluto actually wants us to learn to be alone. And, but because it is opposing the sun, the moon, sorry, it is also very hard to be alone. It is also very difficult to find a place to be around alone because the Pluto sun is very much surrounded by people at all times. And then Jupiter being in the sign of Taurus, which is telling you patience, a bit of a reality check. Let's approach our finances from a practical point of view. The moon brings in the element of the need to get in touch with our feelings, feeling empathy, to be able to assimilate with others. These are becoming a bit of a challenge here. So I would say on one hand, surely this is about inner strength, to learn to be more playful and to enjoy life to the fullest, but also knowing when I've gone overboard with it. This is also, how do you accept praise? Can you accept gifts from others? Does it make you frustrated? It is also telling you to organize your schedule a little bit better, learn to delegate. You do not need to do everything on your own. With the Jupiter square, right? Overstretching yourself. Also, how much do you enjoy life at the moment? Enjoy it fully, but do not overdo it. Also, what can you be proud of? I mean, we're talking about Leo, which is about celebration. Now, this previous new moon in the sign of Capricorn was brilliant to start some new habits. So this 2-week marker can tell you that, you know what, we are forming a better habit. Let's celebrate, but do not go overboard with it. So maybe the celebration is that, I don't know, you started a new diet and then you're going to have a protein shake, or you're gonna just have an ice cream because you feel like you deserve it. It is telling you with Pluto, Jupiter, do not overdo it, do not go overboard, do not go to the extremes. Yeah, that's the right word. Also, this is very much, and also, can you be proud of what you have achieved so far, maybe in the last 2 weeks, maybe in the last few years? Another question, whether you are the leader of your own life or you are handing over the power to others. This is about emotional strength to be able to stand up for who you are and to express yourself among others. So there is this element of fight against stage fright. This full moon, by the way, is happening in the sign of Leo, but it's Libra dwelt. So it does bring in something to do with partnership matters. So, but also loads to do with vanity as well. So the partnership matter might be because you feel like that you are not allowed to say something, let's say about finances to your partner. Maybe because the partner is making the money and I'm not making as much, but I do not agree with his spending habits, for example. Or maybe he thinks that we can afford all these expenditures, but maybe I've got a better view on how our finances are playing out. Also, definitely, if you are not the playful side, on the playful side, then this full moon is telling you, let's socialize a little bit more. Let's be a little bit more playful. Let's awaken that inner child in a way. Of course, Leo is a fire sign. So high energy level, it's very constant as well because it's a fixed sign. But I feel like with the Pluto and Jupiter involvement, there is kind of like this pressure point. It's the last straw syndrome. It's something is gonna blow out here, blow up significantly, making a mole out of a mountain, most likely with the Jupiter square. So in the mundane world, how I'm imagining is I did make a video separately about the Sun and Pluto conjunction a good month ago now. So you might want to be checking that out. As I heard, a queen abdicated herself, but on top of that, we've got the French prime minister, I think, resigned. So this could indicate some element of chaos or uncertainty, for example. Who is going to be the next one? It can be so dramatic in a way. So the pressure point might be coming with this lunation. And Jupiter is escalating that. So, but of course, the Sun and Pluto is very much about leadership qualities, people being at power, feeling like I'm getting shadowed somehow by power or people, and I'm unable to express myself. So the Sun-Pluto element is very much about what we want on the collective level. And then the moon in Leo is very much about what we want on an individual level. And then somehow it's not met. So it becomes a kind of like a source of fight in a way. I want to be seen versus the need to be collaborative. Wanting to work alone versus having to work with others. Also, this might be telling you to choose the right people you are surrounded by, because people make you or break you. Of course, what gets highlighted here is Jupiterian topics. That's a very tight square, by the way. It's only 1 degree. And Jupiter is what? Travel, fairness, law, education, legal matters, religious and spiritual beliefs. So are you overdoing any of those? Or faith? Do you have faith that future is going to be better? That could be a major one. I mean, with Jupiter in Taurus, surely there is a need here to look at your finances, to look at your vanity. And the square element tells you to make adjustments. Also, this could talk about food intake. I mean, Leo Aquarius axis talks about fake food as well as sweets and cakes and all those type of things. So you might have gone a little bit overboard, and then you're going to have to go back and control this a little bit better. Sun is together with Pluto, right? So maybe the drama is around, as I said, who is going to be the prime minister in France. It could actually intensify the political matters. We might be seeing a lot more, in a way, arguments. Or it could also indicate that secrets are about to be revealed, something that is kept hidden. Maybe it's around money with Jupiter. Money laundry comes to my mind with this combination. Maybe the hidden motivation of even technology. Just because, of course, Pluto's sun in Aquarius might be the beginning of some technological revolution. And Jupiter is the planet of ethical questions. So is it ethical, I don't know, to spend 5 hours in front of the computer, or is it not? And so forth. So that might be a Kickstarter here. There might be topics about data protection and so forth. Does that actually exist? You know, but on a personal level, imagine that someone is just overlooking your shoulders and then looking at who you're texting. Or maybe a boss, Pluto and Sun, a person at power, picks up your phone and then having a look at your screensaver. And then, of course, you know, where are my rights? Why are you doing that? This Pluto Jupiter lunation could really talk to us about sexual abuse as well, unfortunately, as well as molestation. So you might go to your workplace, and then unfortunately your boss, for example, makes inappropriate comments to you. And then where is the barrier here? And the barrier comes from the fact, by the way, that the Sun and Pluto are disposed by Saturn. Remember, full moon is a culmination point. It is quite dramatic with a full moon always. And then on top of that, now it is in the sign of Leo as well. Also, with this Jupiter, it could talk to us about people who are going to be bragging or becoming more judgmental. So do you feel judged by others? Do you judge others by, for example, their look or the way they present themselves, Leo? Or do you feel like they are bragging, or are you bragging about something, maybe about your kids, as in Leo? Because it then tells you that maybe you've done it a little bit too much. Let's slow down with that. But the square is always an invitation also to act on something. So there is an invitation here to be more confident. Where does your faith lie? What are your religious and spiritual beliefs? Maybe you are going to be questioning the sincerity of people. Maybe with that Pluto, you're going to be detecting that they are lying, but am I going to mention it or am I just going to walk away from it? Because there is a reminder here that we all need an element of reassurance about how good we are. And that's Leo. And when they don't get it, unfortunately, they're going to find outlets where they get it. Also, the Sun and Pluto is about the transformation of your goals, of your future, also changing behaviors and changing personality traits so that it can be more fitting to everyone, but I'm not also denying who I am at the same time. It's about a little bit being more sensitive of what is said and what we are about to say to others. Now, this lunation has got a in conjunction to Saturn. It's a very tight one. Saturn is on 5 degree. The lunation is on 5 degree as well. In conjunction is always about frustration. It's a 150-degree aspect, by the way. Frustration, annoying. It's kind of like when you are in a tent and then mosquitoes are flying around and you cannot actually catch them and then they annoy the crap out of you because you cannot sleep. Now, Saturn is annoying all of this. And what is Saturn? It's the lack of something. So maybe the lack of healthcare in Pisces, the lack of water, the lack of emotions, what is annoying me, and so forth. Now, what I mentioned to you at the beginning, that Saturn is in a very tight conjunction with Hera. And if you want to be looking at Hera in your chart, let me just quickly get my notes. 103. So its astrological number is 103. Now, Hera is about jealousy, marriage. I mean, in Greek mythology, she was the wife of Jupiter or Zeus. She's the goddess of marriage and motherhood, but unfortunately, she was cheated on all the time by Zeus. She is about legally making a marriage union. So this could talk to you about, for example, me wanting to get married, but we keep running into blockages. And that might be the frustration element because I'm unable to express who I am. So this could be a topic that, I don't know, there is going to be a legislation, Jupiter, about when, what time, who can get married. It's just giving you an example, okay? So I know it sounds silly and a little bit stupid, but you know, this is just an example. And then being jealous that others can do something that I'm unable to do because what I am. At the same time, Hera was very possessive, very resentful about all those affairs he had. And she attempted to punish and take revenge on Zeus, especially on his lovers and the illegitimate children. So it led to some element of cruelty. So what it could indicate to me is that, are you going to be somehow trying to take revenge on people because they are not accepting your opinion? Hera is a love asteroid. It's a little bit similar to Juno, okay? So it could represent the quality of partner or the type of person you are going to be marrying someone. When it's really much about its lower manifestation, then jealousy, revenge, possessive nature comes. When we are more to do with the higher manifestation of that, then I would say this is going to be about love union and the possibility to attract the right person. Now, I'm just wondering with Leo drama and games, and then Hera plays these tactful, manipulative games, taking revenge on innocent people. So it could talk to us about someone who is going to be, just playing games with us. And then it's a little bit harder to see them through. And the reason why they do that, Pluto Sun, because they might want to become more powerful among others. It could talk to us about, for example, that I feel dissatisfied in my marriage. But I'm really having a problem to let go of that marriage, maybe due to financial reasons. Jupiter in the sign of Taurus, because Taurus wants to keep things, and Jupiter is wealth. So I want to keep the wealth. And it doesn't mean that we are gold diggers. It just means that, you know what, that's the only house I have got. How can I let that go? But at the same time, it comes with an element of jealousy that others, could do it. So am I able to do it as well? So some of the topics that comes up with Hera is parenting, marriage, the protection of a marriage, and there is Hygeia there as well, which is the prevention asteroid. So the prevention of a marriage to fall apart, I would say. So guys, I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you have enjoyed this video about this upcoming full moon. And if you want to know how it might play out in your own chart, then check out my Patreon on YouTube, the membership zone. Thank you, everyone. See you soon. Bye-bye.